welcome to episode 14 of my 1974 Ford Cortina Mark III restoration. As you can see, it's come a very long way since the last episode. Hopefully the volume on this will be better as well. I think there's a bit of a glitch with the microphone thing on the camera, which seems to be causing a problem, I think. Anyway, we have the back end on, and a door, and a wing. So she now looks side on, like a Mark III Cortina again. This is really cool. Obviously, I'd like to say a really big hi to Robin Walsh in Ireland. Robin was an absolute star. You'll notice on the start credits that this episode is actually dedicated to him. Thank you so much again, Robin. Been really stuck if you hadn't come to the rescue. Everybody else out there, if you're wondering what that's all to do with, obviously I shall be explaining in a few minutes. Like to say hi to Pete Crompton, Mad Mike, Nadine Nord, 33 Briz, Drunken Car Restorer. Hi Tony, enjoying your videos. It's great work going on there on your Crayford. Nice to see that the floors are going in. What else? And she's not far off from paint. Obviously we've got to kind of do some bits underneath as well, just tidying up here and there, final checks, etc. So kind of like lots to do, but not lots to do, if that makes sense. So hopefully you'll enjoy this episode. Hopefully the sound on this one is better. If not, I'm going to have to strip all this down and take a look at it. Obviously lots and lots of dust and dirt in worktop. So I am thinking that possibly magnetic particles could have kind of got drawn in around the microphone thing. So it could be that. End of this particular one, we've got some little extra bits. Right, I'm going to crack on with some work, so I'll show you what we've been doing. Well, as you can see, we have a rear wing, completely welded in place. It's all been spot welded all the way around there. You'll see some of that going on in a bit, and obviously we've got it welded in up there, nice and neat and smooth, lovely join all the way across. The line on there is good on this bit. So it's got ready now for its lead loading to be done later when it goes to paint, or we might do it before it goes to paint, not sure yet. Obviously, back door, that's in place, and the front door, that's attached and in place, and we have a wing. So the entire driver's side of the car now looks like a Mark III Cortina. It's wonderful. Obviously, some of you remember up here, the gutter rail was completely missing, all the roof had been damaged with rust and was eaten into. There was quite a bit at the back. This bit under here was pretty rough. So basically Gary's made up a new lip section that we've salvaged from another one, and that's all been welded in, and the roof's been done, so that's all nice all the way along there. Underneath here, that's all been sort of cut out, and a new section went into there. Lines up lovely with this little sort of pressing detail bit there that's sort of cut out. I think we can get the angle right to see that. Obviously the original car's B-posts, inner and outer, all the way down, apart from the very, very bottom bit down there. There was a little tiny repair went in there. But these are original 1974 B-posts, and they're absolutely perfect, this side specifically, apart from a little bit that went in at the bottom down there. That one had slightly higher piece over on the B-post over there, on the bottom part, and a little repair about there, where the courtesy light switch is. But as I say, they're the original ones from 1974, so 45 years old and really, really good condition, so we're happy with those. Running around to the back, we have a rear valance. Rear valance has now gone in, so that's welded in all the way around and attached. Got a nice little sort of spot weld's gone on all the way along the edge. And we've got the rear triangular plate that houses the edge of the rear light cluster. Obviously the inside cages are the original ones. They've all been cleaned down. I did those about a week or 2 weeks ago now, probably. They've all been completely stripped, and then once I've got them nice and shiny, then they've had the various coats of paint that I put on. Protect it whilst we're building it. Got it in some body colour, obviously you can see inner rear wings. They've all been kind of treated, especially very dark in here because I've got a light, but obviously down inside there where the arches are, all the inside of the panels have been really, really well protected. I've got multiple layers on there before they went in, because obviously once you've got them fitted, it's really difficult to kind of get in. You can kind of get oils or wax or whatever you want to put in there, but I wanted to get lots and lots of protection on it before they were welded in, because obviously very vulnerable point on the Mark III. That's where they always seem to rust out very quickly. And just bear with me as we wander around this side. Obviously inside this was the very vulnerable part, as were the lower rear quarters. So, you know, they've got loads in there. outer wing, where obviously it will meet the inside lip of the wheel tub. As with the wheel tub, where it's all been pre-painted and protected and done, we're going through the same sort of process for this one. So it's had its special coatings gone on there that I do to make sure that it doesn't crack and chip and craze back and end up going rusty. It's all getting pre-painted inside on the panel and protected with the multiple layers. So I'm on that stage at the moment, done the same with the other wing, which is kind of there. We've got this one done, which I may have already shown you, but it's more lacquers and coats and very shiny, probably reflecting quite well there, hopefully. Now, if you're wondering about the rubbing wash thing, I'll explain. As you can see, we have a complete original Ford wheel tub. Now, some of you may recall that about 2 episodes or so back, a tub went in. Might be slightly more than that, can't remember exactly which episode it was in, but you know, we did a shot of the wheel tub and you saw it going in, Gary working on that one. When Gary went to line up rear wing and the rear door, we noticed we had a slight glitch. Well, to be fair, Gary noticed we had a slight glitch, and he phoned me and I came down and looked and we thought, whoops. The wheel tub that had gone in was a Mark 4 or 5 one. Inner section, because obviously they come in like 2 halves, and if you bought them originally from Ford, they come as like one complete unit, and then there's like a sort of weld that's all the way around on the inner seam, which is kind of like crimped, so it's kind of like little lines like you've got on this rubber thing on top of the welder. You can get them in separate halves. Express steel panels do them, but obviously there's currently I think I was told 120 days waiting list, or up to 120 days, which is, you know, quite a while really, because we kind of needed one. And obviously then they come as 2 halves and you have to weld it together yourself, so you won't get that sort of little fine lines all the way around it, because it's a special gadget that Ford had that sort of welded it and gave it those lines. So you've got the option of obviously MIG welding it or spot welding it together, but then you won't have the original look with the little crimping lines in it. But anyway, basically what happened was the panel had Mark III Ford Cortina stickers on it from factory, marked up as a Mark III one. Obviously, you know, the inside ones, they're the same on a 3, 4 and 5. The outer ones differ from the 3 and the 4, 5. So the way to identify them, as I have now found out, because I've personally never had a Mark IV or a Mark V, so I've not seen what they look like on the inside of the outer section in there where it sort of curves round. Now, what I did notice was that when we got them, that there was an oval pressing in the rounded part of the tub that goes in sort of that way. And then just on the edge there were little triangles that sort of stuck out, and there was a kind of elongated one that was a dimple that kind of stuck out there. On the other side there was like an L shape, and they didn't have those little triangle dimples that were kind of there and somewhere around here. And obviously the other side didn't have the oval pressing. Now, having spoken to Robin, obviously Robin's been dealing in panels for years and years and years, and he'd fathomed that the difference was that a Mark 4/5 has that oval pressing and the Mark 3s don't. Now, over the years, obviously Ford changed panels and updated things. So, yeah, for example, the inside roof section over there in a panel, if you look at an early one and then a later one, there's slight differences with the holes that are in it. You can see over there, like there's a hole there, and those sort of cutouts. They vary from the Series 1, Series 2. Obviously, headlight mounting panels, they can vary as well from Series 1 and Series 2. Panels vary slightly from factories, depending on whether it was built in Britain or if it was built in a plant abroad from the UK. So when I spotted the oval things there, Did wonder why it had it, but I presumed it would be different factory, later model spec maybe. You know, still a Mark III, but a different one. Well, obviously it wasn't. So Robin came to the rescue. The project was kind of on hold because we couldn't get the back end on without that tub being sorted. So thanks to Robin, managed to get a new, complete, genuine Ford wheel tub from him. Got that in now, so that meant taking out the other one very carefully and then refitting this one back in. So it's been double the work, but what the heck, it's now correct. Obviously the door's kind of just there, it's not actually bolted up quite right yet, so hence the reason it's slightly lower just there, because it obviously needs to be tightened up on its hinges. We've just kind of got it there for the moment because it came off and I popped it back on again, just so you can see that we have a door and a wing. And obviously front wing, passenger door still yet to be fitted. Boot lid, that's in place. As you can see up there, we've got a boot lid on now, which is really, really good. So back end is coming along nicely. There's just basically this, oh yeah, Gary has been busy. He's actually more or less got that in too. So the Warrior triangle plate on that side is there, and obviously the upper rear valance, small little panel that goes along there where your grommet is for your number plate lights to come through. That's there. Obviously at the moment we've got, if some of you recall, the panel that goes here where the window comes down and meets, and then you've got your gutter. On that sort of ridged piece up here, there were lots and lots of holes. Obviously that one's been sorted. We've kind of repaired the original one. Well, as you can see, this is the upside down, the panel that goes just below the rear window. Again, obviously it's been acid dipped and cleaned down mechanically beforehand, and hand cleaned down before that, and then had its multiple anti-rust layers on, and it's now got a nice shiny coat of green paint. Well, actually, to be fair, it's got several shiny coats of green paint all inside before it gets fitted on, because obviously you can't get inside this bit once it's actually in place and mounted sort of on the parcel shelf. So that's the sort of drainage guttery bit underneath there. Obviously it goes the other way up. Another bit that I've prepped up is the upper rear valance. Sort of little small panel where your number plate light grommet hole is. So that's all been, again, cleaned down, acid dipped, really, really clean shiny steel and multiple layers on that. So those two have been prepped. It's been around here prepping inside of rear wings. So that's got lots and lots and lots of protection on the inside of the arch, so that it helps to stop the problem of it rotting through from the inside of the arch. Again, over on this one's getting prepped as well, so that's going in body colour at the moment. And so that's all nice and solid now. I'm waiting to go back in. Obviously, get the wings in first. So yeah, she's almost finished on the body side of welding. We have no more corrosion and holes anywhere. There's just sort of a few new bits to finish off fitting, upper rear valance and the panel up there underneath the windscreen, and then just tidying up and sorting out a few bits, obviously fitting the door on over there. And then we have 100% solid, brand spanking new, completely and utterly devoid of rust, shell, apart from like obviously little tiny surfacey bits that have come onto here which just need cleaning up, and that's purely because obviously we've kind of given it a really thin coat along there, and this is why generally when I'm doing work on it and we clean it up, we kind of give it plenty of paint, because obviously when it gets damp, like it has done over the last couple of days, you will get like slight surface rusting coming. Everywhere else where it's had all the really good protection, right down inside there, as you can see, there's no rust anywhere. It's very dirty, because obviously, you know, as we're working on it, it gets dirt and dust kicked up in the air. But all the panel work that's been prepped properly hasn't gone rusty at all over the number of years that we've been building this. So, yep, there she is. She's looking really, 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 really good. Another bit that we've been working on today is this has been completely stripped down to nice shiny steel. Obviously that's the petrol filler sort of bowl that goes on the rear wing on the driver's side. I've got etch on there at the moment, and then obviously I think you can see that it's really, 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 really shiny. Gone over it and stripped it all the way back, right back to the steel, so it's all nice and clean, and all inside the cup. Got a bit of the spray paint gone through into it at the moment, but again inside there's all cleaned out, nice and shiny. So that's one that's part way through getting prepped. We have the engine to rebuild, we've got the gearbox to sort out, there's all the running gear